Hi, everyone, and welcome to our live stream. Welcome to our live stream. I'm so thrilled that you're with us. I can see that we've got lots of people on with us already, so a big warm welcome. This is one of your live streams to get you prepared for the Formula Botanica Masterclass, which starts on October 3rd. And we're going to have so much fun. We're expecting tens of thousands of people to take part because everyone can formulate, and that includes you too. So leave me a comment in the chat and tell me where you're from in the world. And if you've got your masterclass ticket, leave me a big yes or a thumbs up. I want to see lots and lots of yeses from people who are going to be there on October 3rd and who are ready to take part and ready to formulate their own, I've got one here, botanical eye cream. You're going to be making this. It's incredibly fun. It's incredibly simple. It's incredibly empowering once you've learned how to make your own cosmetics. Awesome. I can see the comments coming in. We've got people from Portugal. Hi, Janine. Ivy from Philadelphia. We've got Sharon from Barbados. I'm seeing lots of yeses. Oh, this is amazing. Thank you so much. We're thrilled to see you. So today, I'm Lorraine. I'm here. I run Formula Botanica, and I'm here together with Brooke, who is our formulation tutor. And we're going to be talking about the 3 tools you'll definitely need to get started. And the reason we're doing that is because I know many people have questions about which equipment you might need and how you want to get prepared for the masterclass. Hi, Brooke. How are you doing?
Hi Lorraine, I'm all good, thank you. I hope you're all doing well and I hope you're all excited for the masterclass to get started. I know we all are buzzing for it. We've been prepping for it for months, so it's very exciting.
Yes, it is super exciting. And what do you do at Formula Botanica? Tell everyone a little bit about it.
So I am the formulation tutor at Formula Botanica, so that means I work as part of the education team and I work to create a lot of the educational materials that go into our courses. So everything from the formulation library in our membership site, the lab, to course materials, to all of our study guides, things like that. I work as well with our team of fantastic grading tutors that gets everybody's projects graded and lots of different things like that. So it's really exciting and there's always something new to be doing.
Absolutely. And we have so much fun working with our students. And if you enroll with us at some point, then you will undoubtedly get to see or hear from Brooke at some point, as well as all of our other tutors. So today we want to just get you prepared for your masterclass. So have you got your workbook? I hope you do. Have you printed it out? Give me a thumbs up in the comments and tell me if you've got your workbook printed out yet, because this is going to be the most important thing you do throughout your masterclass, because you're going to fill in all of the blanks. You're going to pick up all of the information we're teaching you, and then you take this away and it's yours to keep forever, and you'll be able to follow the instructions in here and formulate with us. So last week I was live with Anna Green, who's our amazing education manager, and we talked about the 7 ingredients that we're going to use in the masterclass, and we walked through each of them one by one. So if you've missed that one, go back and watch it. It's on our YouTube channel. It's really easy to find. It's right at the top. You won't miss it. And if you watch that, underneath it, it goes through, you've got a list of all of the topics that we discussed, and you can even click on them to jump to the right bit in the video. But come and watch the whole thing, because we'll teach you exactly which ingredients you need, what they are, and most importantly, how to get them. Right, I can see a lot of people going, where's my workbook? So you can probably see here on the screen, right at the bottom, it says available in your study area. Have you logged into your study area yet? Because when you sign up for your masterclass, you'll be taken straight through to the study area, and you'll receive an email which has the link to the study area in it. And if you log into that study area or just click on the link, it'll take you straight in, and there's a big button at the top that says download my workbook. And I want everyone to go and do that now. Don't miss out on it. This is 32 pages of great value, and you're going to get so much out of it. But I'm not here to talk about the workbook today. We're going to run through that in a little bit more detail next week, where we're going to be talking about how you use your workbook throughout the masterclass, just to make sure that you are fully prepared. Today, we are talking about equipment. So, Brooke, tell us a little bit about the sort of equipment that you need when you become a formulator. Do you need a lot of expensive or complicated equipment?
Definitely not. So the stuff you need when you're first starting out is really, really simple. There's not a lot of things you need. And when I first started doing formulation, I just had a very small kit in a wash bag, which I've got with me here. So this is everything I did all of the courses with. This is all of the kit you need to get started and to do quite far on, actually. I've only recently invested in some more high-tech equipment, but this is it, all you need to get started. But for the cream for this masterclass, it's even simpler than what's in that bag. There's only sort of 3 or 4 things you're really going to need. And they're not going to cost much. They're all quite cheap, easy to get a hold of. You can get them from Amazon, you can get them from kitchenware shops, and you can be really ingenious with the kind of equipment you use. You can get stuff you've already used in your home. You've got kitchen utensils, lots of different things.
Yes, and inspired by Brooke, I mean, we were all so inspired by Brooke at Formula Botanica. We then created our lab in a bag, which I'm afraid isn't available for sale yet. But believe me, it's high up on my wish list to get this for sale for you. And actually, everything you need to get started is in this. And I'm going to unbox this in episode 2 of your masterclass, where I'll open it up, zip it open, and lift out every single tool and just explain to you what it is. But we don't want you to have to wait for episode 2 to get started with equipment, because it is just so straightforward. So we want to run you through 3 tools that you need to get started, but we'll also talk a little bit about alternatives that you might already have around your home. So with that said, Brooke, do you want to run us through tool number 1?
Good idea. So tool number 1 is going to be your beakers. Now, they look like this. These are your typical fancy lab looking beakers. These are what we use within all of the lessons. They're what you tend to use when you're formulating any kind of product, whatever you use. This is the vessel that you're going to create your product in. So when you get started, these normally come, either you buy them individually from suppliers or they come as sets. So the kind of sizes you're going to want is you're going to want at least a 50 ml and probably a 100 ml as well. You don't need that much in the way of sizes. You don't need any big beakers because you're not going to be making any big batches, especially as it's an eye cream. We don't want to be making sort of 500 ml of eye cream because you're never going to use that by yourself. You'd have to split that between many people. But you can get big beakers, like this one is 400 ml. This is quite useful for making, for example, isopropyl disinfectant spray, but that's not something that we need to worry about yet. So more to the point, you're going to need ones like these. Now, if you can't get a hold of these, you can use things like small glass bowls or ramekins or anything like that, just a small vessel for you to stir in. Ideally, you would want something like a Pyrex jug because that's heat stable. You need to be able to heat these. We put these in our hot water bath, as you'll see when we get to, I believe, lesson 3.
Mm-hmm.
And these are a special kind of glass called boron hardened glass, which means that you can take them from hot to cold and they're not going to shatter, which is really important when you're formulating. So you want something that's going to be stable with some heat, so whether that's ceramic or something like Pyrex glass. But these are really easy to get a hold of. You can get them on Amazon. We've got, I believe, Amazon storefront link that if someone in our team can put it up the link, you can get these easily on Amazon. They come in sets of lots of different sizes.
Yeah.
They're really nice and simple.
They are one of the coolest items of equipment, I think, you can buy as a formulator, because you really feel like a formulator, don't you, once you have one of these in your home?
You do, yeah.
Like, oh, I've gone sciencey. And you know what? During lockdown, I did some chemistry lessons at home with my kids, and I broke out the beakers as well. And they thought that was really cool, and the gloves and the goggles, you know. But they're very, very easy to come by. You can find glass beakers in every country around the world. I promise you, every single science supply store, or as Brooke says, Pyrex glass jugs. You can get those in cookery stores. You probably have something in your kitchen already that you can use. And the beauty of these, of course, is you can just stick them in the dishwasher and they will clean very easily and very nicely. You're going to need 2 beakers for the masterclass formulation, or if you're not using Beakers, 2 other vessels. But that's where we recommend that you start. And as Brooke said, we have 2 Amazon storefronts, one in the US, one in the UK. And if you visit that links to all sorts of different suppliers. And I can see the team sharing those links on YouTube at the moment, because we're live on YouTube and Facebook at the same time. Cool. So number 1 is Beakers. And I just want to also say, if you're going to splash out on Beakers, get yourself one of these really mini ones, because they're just so cute. Cool. What's tool number 2?
So tool number 2 is something to stir your ingredients together with. So you're going to need, when you're making your emulsion and you're bringing your 2 phases together and you're incorporating your fantastic botanical extracts and your preservative, you're going to need something to blend it all together. The best thing I think you can use in that situation is one of these. Now this is a mini wire whisk. It's exactly the same as the kind of whisk you would use for baking a cake, just on a significantly smaller scale. So these are about sort of $1.99 on Amazon. They're really easy to get a hold of. You can even get some in kitchen shops as well. They're really easy to find. But if for some reason you can't find a mini whisk, the other things you can use is things like a ice cream sundae spoon, so something that's got a nice long handle that'll fit nicely into your beakers. Teaspoons might be too small in terms of a handle for the bigger batches or for the bigger beakers like this one, but ice cream handled spoons would be really good for that. Another great option is things like a spatula.
Yes.
So I have this one here. It's a Beatrix Potter one, and it's nice and small and fits into the beakers really good nicely. So this I got from a camping shop at the same time as we bought a tent. So you can find these things anyway if you just keep your eyes peeled. So this is a spatula that's really good for sort of getting around the edges, scraping down the sides, and making sure everything's blended in nicely. And your other option that is nice and simple is something called a glass rod. So these are self-explanatory. It's literally just a glass stick, plain, straight, and they usually come in about a pack of 10. They're not expensive. They're, I think, about £8 for the 10 pack. But they're really easy, really super simple, easy to keep clean. You can go in the dishwasher, you can disinfect them with alcohol or boiling water, and you just stir your emulsion together like that. Easy peasy.
It is. So get yourself a stirring object, basically, something that you can stir with. And as Brooke said, all of these are very, very easy to find. I mean, you get a pack of glass rods very easily on Amazon, but many other supply stores. Everyone can find a spatula in a cookery store, mini whisk in a cookery store. In fact, I think I bought this from an online cookery store. It is so easy to find because you're just going to need something to whisk it all together. For those of you who've made mayonnaise before, we're effectively going to make the cosmetic equivalent, but obviously without the egg and vinegar and everything else that goes into it. But it's the same process, basically, because we're making an emulsion. So we've got the beakers. Get yourself a vessel that you can make your formulation in. Get yourself something that you can stir it with, ideally a mini whisk. I do recommend investing in some beakers because, then you're set up to formulate, which is cool. What's number 3 on the list?
So number 3 is possibly one of the most important, and this is the one that's going to be slightly more niche, but this is a scales. Now, this is non-optional with making cosmetics because you need something to weigh out your ingredients. But again, these are really easy to find. This one is just from Amazon. We've got the fancy green ones, which is very on brand. But you need something that's going to go down to 0.01. This is because we're weighing such small amounts in the masterclass of something like our preservative or any extracts that go down to lower amounts. You'll want to have something that can go down that low. So you need one of these. These are available on Amazon. Again, you might find them in the odd cookery shop, but cookery shops don't tend to go down low enough. So you just need to make sure this one goes down as far as you need it to. If you want to type it into Amazon, a good thing to search for is jewelry scales because they're used for weighing necklaces and gold to determine how much they are worth, which means that they go down really nice and low, which is very good. So keep your eyes peeled for one of these. Really simple, battery operated, and they usually come with sort of little trays and things to weigh stuff out them, which is really handy.
Absolutely. They're very easy to come by. You'll pay about £10 or $10 on Amazon for these. They're very inexpensive. And as Brooke says, you want to be able to go to 0.01 grams. So we're going to be working in the metric scale. I know not everyone does, but we do. And that's also what we recommend when you formulate. So you need to be able to measure small quantities because, as Brooke said, you're not going to make enough eye cream for everyone in your neighborhood. You're only going to make enough eye cream for you. So we want to start small so that you also don't waste materials if you're just trialing a batch, basically. And it's that simple. You're going to need a beaker. You're going to need something to stir your emulsion with. You're going to need something to weigh your ingredients with. Obviously, there are a few other little, tools that we'll be using. I don't know if there's any others that you want to highlight while we're here, Brooke, but
I can do, yeah. So the next one I think would be the most important would be your pH strips. This is something you're going to have a go at a little bit later on in the masterclass, but it's not something to be scared of. This is either you just have strips, which, when I can find them, look like this. These are just really simple pH strips. You just dunk them straight into your cream, or you make a dilution. Really simple and easy to work with. And these are another thing you can get on Amazon. You can also get pH meters, which look like this one here. It comes in its own little case. These are, again, really easy to find. You can get specific cosmetics pH meters, but they're a lot more expensive. These ones are simple and just sort of £10 off of Amazon, which is nice and easy. So that is one that's sort of an added bonus. But the next most important tool you're going to need is going to be your workbook. So a notebook or something to write everything down in.
yes.
So one of Formula Botanica's mottos is, if you didn't write it down, then it didn't happen. So everyone in the team has these really cool notebooks that we use to jot down our formulations. This one is the book I use to help plan the masterclass formulation you're going to make. So the secret formula is inside this workbook, but you're going to get it inside your workbook too. So
Yes.
go to the study area and download your workbook, and that is essentially going to be your own version of your super secret lab notebook.
Yes, I love it. Get your workbook. So I've seen a couple of questions from people going, what's going on? So let me just run you through it again. Formula Botanica is teaching a huge free masterclass, which starts on October 3rd. You can see it here on the screen below. The date says 3rd of October. And on that date, every single day, we're going to release an episode. It was a little bit like your own mini Netflix training series, basically. And each episode is about 10 to 12 minutes. And every single day, we're going to drop a new one so that you can follow along and you can learn how to make your own botanical eye cream. This is some of our very best and simplest teaching material to get you started with something that sounds quite complicated, but is actually very easy to master. So when you sign up for your ticket, you'll instantly be taken to the study area, which is the central area where our masterclass will take place. And you'll be sent an email as well with a link to that study area. Save that email, save that link, bookmark that link, because you're going to want to visit it every single day. And once you're in your study area, there'll be a big button at the top that says download your workbook. You can't miss it. I believe it's red. And we are very green. Formula Botanica is very green, so you can't miss the big red button. And there's also a shopping list, which I've got here, which is just a one-pager and details all of the ingredients that you're going to need in order to make the eye cream. We'll be working with 7 different ingredients. And as a special bonus, we are working with suppliers all around the world. We've got, I think, 8 suppliers on board who are stocking the ingredients that you need to make the botanical eye cream that we'll be teaching you how to make in the masterclass. So go and check out those suppliers. I know some of them are already running low on stock. Some of them have already sold out because there are so many people signing up already. So you're going to have to be quick if you want to buy the kit. And some of those suppliers also have equipment for sale. So Aromantic in the UK, Go Native in New Zealand, I think maybe even Craftivity, they have the kits. They have the tools that you need to formulate with as well. So go and buy the whole masterclass kit from them and add the equipment in if you want some extra as well. But we also obviously have the Amazon links, which I know the team has put in the chat, but they are also in your workbook. So lesson 2 is going to be all about prepare your formulation equipment. You can see a beaker right there. We've got a checklist that we're going to run you through. There's a couple of blanks that we need you to fill in. And it's got the Amazon links on there. So if you want to go and buy from Amazon, you can do so there. Don't forget, it's free to take part, completely free. We are on a mission to teach the world to formulate, and we want to make this accessible and available to as many people as possible. We've taught over 400,000 people now to formulate for free because we care about it so much. We also have 17,000 students and graduates in 182 countries, which is incredible. But the masterclass is for everyone. If you've never formulated before, this is the place to be. If you want to learn how to make your own beauty products from scratch but don't know where to start, this is the place to be. We're going to cover everything: how to get started, how to set up, how to formulate in your own home lab that you'll set up. And that can be a tiny component, tiny part of a table, even in your home. It doesn't need to be anything fancy and big. We're going to teach you how to research ingredients, how to choose the right natural preservative, how to make that eye cream I talked about, what to do if you can't find the ingredients for the eye cream, which alternatives you could use, how to make your brand stand out if you then decide that you maybe want to sell your formulations to the public and make your own formulations as a formulator, which is, of course, what so many of our graduates have done. Even in the last day, I've received, 3 different products from graduates all over the world. This is Kaylee Beth in the US, who makes her own shave balms. I've just been sent some balms. In fact, this is a pressed face serum by one of our graduates called Alice, who's in the UK, and she runs her brand Orn Coup. These people have gone through our courses and they are now formulating, and we want to empower you with those skills as well. Right, that was a bit of a long speech. Have you got any questions for us whilst we're here? Have you got any questions about the equipment, about the masterclass, about the ingredients? If you haven't watched the YouTube video from last week, go and check it out. We walked through every single ingredient one by one and held them up and explained it all. So if you haven't seen that one yet, please do go and check it out. I see a lot of questions from people about where the workbook is, so I hope that we've managed them. I've also seen a few questions about where our merchandise is for sale. Someone asked where our apron was for sale. Unfortunately, we don't have them for sale yet. Believe me, I really want to have them for sale. We're working on it. So hopefully within, I don't know, I'm not going to put a time frame on it. We want to get our lab in a bag for sale, our notebooks, the ones that Brooke showed. I mean, these are great lab books, our aprons, and lots of other goodies as well. Okay, well, I think we've probably answered most of the questions that are coming in. So thank you so much, Brooke. What advice would you give someone taking part in the masterclass for the first time?
I would say definitely just have fun with it. I think go through all of your lessons, make sure you watch them at least sort of twice, keep an eye on all of the notifications and the live streams and that we're putting out, and take in as much of the content as you can, but have fun with it. So don't sort of put too much pressure on yourself. Don't sort of start stressing about long-term goals or anything like that just yet. Wait until you go through the masterclass and you get to the end of it, and you can then start deciding what it is you want to do. It's, as you can see, there's not a lot of stuff you need. You can get some really simple pieces to get started and just have a go. It's always a good idea to just have a go and see what you think.
That's great advice, Brooke. I love that. And I also love the fact that you reminded everyone to go and sign up for everything we're offering. So we've got, obviously, the emails. If you've registered for the masterclass, you will be emailed every single time a new episode comes out. But we've also got SMS, so you can sign up for text messages, which will wing their way to you and tell you instantly when the next episode is released. And you may have had one today about the fact that we were going live. We're also on Telegram, so you can sign up to our masterclass channel there, and we'll notify you on what's happening. And we've got our calendar as well, so you can sign up for calendar notifications. I myself live and die by my calendar, so I have everything to hand in there. You may well be the same. And I just want to put this one from Denise. Oh, wrong one. Hang on. Everything's going so quickly. Hopefully that comes up. Denise, October 3rd can't come soon enough. I completely agree. I'm so excited for you. Brilliant. Well, thank you very much for joining us today. I love this one as well. Nyla says, I love Formula Botanica. Thank you, Nyla. You are the star. We appreciate you too. Brilliant. Get ready for October 3rd. Mark it in your calendar. Go and get ready. Print out your workbook. go to your study area, download it, print it out, get it ready, start browsing through it, get some inspiration. And we'll be seeing you again next week when I'm live with, I think, Lisa, who is our community manager, and we'll be talking about how you can use your workbook. Brilliant. Thank you very much. See you all soon. Thanks, Brooke.
Thank you very much, everyone. Can't wait for you to all see the masterclass.
Yes, me too. See you on October 3rd.
See you on October.